Okay, welcome to this edition of Editor's Notebook. My name is Mark O'Keefe. I'm Executive Editor for the Herald-Standard. With us today is Barbara Yalaich Fike. Barb is Chair for the upcoming Relay for Life event, which is the American Cancer Society. It's their biggest fundraiser of the year. And basically, the Relay for Life is where people come together. They raise money. They come together in teams, and a lot of them are families, but it could also be businesses, churches, clubs, groups, whatever, friends, and they raise money throughout the year, holding all kind of different things from dances to yard sales to whatever. Creativity is the name of the game, and it all kind of culminates in this two-day event. And the idea is that you have people walking around the track for 24 hours because cancer doesn't take a break. It's always there. And the idea, though, is and you have a lot of different activities and really a lot of fun. And and it's free. It's open. Anybody can come. Anybody can visit. And then, there's all kind of different things that go on in kind of marking this. And, the idea is to try and raise money and to try and hopefully find a cure for this dreaded disease. Mm-hmm. And I think the one good thing is that, with some things, it's like, well, you just don't see much progress, But certainly with cancer, my God, we've seen so many things, advances over the years, and it used to be that cancer was just such a dreaded disease that nobody even would say the word,
right.
And now, one of the really neat things is we do have the Cancer Survivors Walk at the Relay for Life, correct?
Yes.
And how many people do you have signed up for that this year?
Well, our numbers are for anywhere from 100 to 150.
Right.
I think we're about 75 right now.
Mm-hmm.
We get a lot of people that day sign
Right.
up, which is perfectly fine.
Right.
If you get a last minute person that wants to come in, we would never turn anyone away. So up to that day, we would like to invite people to come for the Survivor Walk. And also during that Survivor Walk is your caregivers lap. So if someone comes with you that has been your caregiver, then they are also welcome to walk a lap with that survivor.
And that is probably one of the high points, but it goes to show the cancer isn't a death sentence anymore. There is progress. There's a lot of things that can be done. So, people that, it doesn't matter. It matters that people give money. It matters that people donate. It matters that people come out and support each other and that sort of thing. And so you've been involved with it now for...
I believe this is our 19th year. And the JCPenney team way back then had a team, and I was involved with that. That's how I got started till I was asked to be on the committee, and I've been chair about 14 years.
You and Ed.
Yeah, Ed Kustron as my chair.
Yeah,
he's my associate.
Do a wonderful job, and now Lisa Rose is a co-chair.
Yes, she is our co-chair, Lisa Rose.
Another wonderful,
and she is a survivor. She's a breast cancer survivor.
Right. So it is a really good thing, and this year it's going to be, when is it, August 10th and 11th?
Yes, it goes from Saturday morning till Sunday morning, the 24 hours, and of course it's at Penn State again, Fayette Eberly campus.
And so what time will it start?
At 8 a.m.
At 8
a.m. Yeah, we changed the times just a little bit this year, and it'll be over then at 8 a.m. on Sunday. But the opening ceremonies aren't right at 8. That gives us time to get set up, because people do come on Friday to set up just a little, but such a wind tunnel out there that you can't bring a whole lot and leave, on Friday. But our big setup is Saturday morning. And then our kickoff, we start with the color guard, and vocalists will sing national anthem, and we a little salute to our country also.
And then there's all kind of different activities
all day, keeps us going all day
throughout the day. And And it is. It's just, it's a very much of a fun event, and like I said, it's open to the public,
Yes.
and so anybody who just wants to
Yeah.
come
Pull
on
in,
out
park the
and
car, and
whatever.
walk
Maybe you've
over.
heard about it, but
Yeah.
certainly the idea is to raise money. So and it is a thing where you're constantly on the lookout for new teams
Yes.
and that sort of thing.
Yes.
And how many teams do you have this year?
We have 36. Our goal is 40, but again, we have room for 50 or 60. So we would love to have new teams. We're always looking for new teams. We've had teams that have been there since almost the beginning, and they're still hanging in. Some have left us, and then they come back, and that's always delightful. But yes, we're always looking for new, and our goal is 40. So we're close.
Right.
We're very close.
What? How much was raised last year?
Last year we raised 143,000, and so we upped it 1,000. Our goal is 144,000 this year. But we've made, I think the highest I was involved with is probably in the 190s. Those were our best years. And nothing to say we couldn't get back there.
Right.
They always reach for the stars.
Well, but I think it is one of the things that you do kind of realize here in Fayette County. There's no doubt Fayette County is one of the poorer counties in Pennsylvania, and certainly the recession had a big impact here, and we see a lot of different problems or whatever, but the people of Fayette County definitely have big hearts, and they do donate money, and
that's for sure.
I know that you do kind of have a flux of teams as maybe people move, or sometimes people get older or whatever, so you're always looking for new teams, but you do have a lot of teams that do year in, year out.
Yeah, we retain teams from year to year.
They're there.
Sometimes just being a family team, if there was a wedding in that family, that does it for the year. Doesn't mean they don't come in and bring a check and say, here, we raised money, but they don't actually participate at the event. So many teams are raising money all year.
Right.
There is money raised at the event with our auction, and some of the teams are selling
doing
things
all kind of different things.
Yeah, 50-50, or not 50-50, but raffles and things like that at the event. But a lot of the money is raised throughout the year. People, we wrap up in August. We turn in our dollars till September, and they're starting in October already.
Right.
So they're very dedicated people at Fayette County.
Right. It is, and it's pretty amazing. I know, with the newspaper, we've been done stories, and a lot of times people will say just the outpouring and the money they got was so much more than what they thought they would get, particularly for an area that doesn't really have an excess of money, but people will give, and they will try and help each other. And I always think that the one good thing about this is it's not like, well, people are sitting around for somebody to write them a check, or wait for government to chip in or whatever. No, it's people who are doing things on their own, doing things in their communities, and it is always interesting to hear the different ideas that people have.
Well, I think the other thing too, Mark, is the fact that cancer has touched almost everyone.
Right.
If you don't have it in your immediate family, you know someone
Right.
that is suffering, or even a caregiver that's family member has
Right.
it, or neighbor, because they're so involved
Right.
in their lives, and it's so widespread.
Right.
Almost everybody knows someone.
And I think that a lot of times when it does happen, and even maybe it's a friend or somebody, so it may not be directly, but still, you want to do something. Your natural impulse is, well, let's try and help. Well, a lot of times, unfortunately, you can't, and it's just, the disease takes its course or whatever. So a lot of times I think people feel frustrated, but this is a way where you can do something.
Yes.
You can raise some money, and even if it's only $500 or $1,000, well, that helps, and it does. It adds up, just like
Yes, it
we're
does.
saying, 140,000. Well, from a county like Fayette County, that's pretty
a lot
darn
of
good.
money.
And then that goes into the bigger pot for the National Cancer Society, and then they can use that money to do all kind of things. And
Some of
help
the money
people.
does stay local. So we can utilize that right in our area, and that's great to know that it's just not all being sent to research.
Right.
There are other uses for that money, and it's just a great program that people can take advantage of.
Right.
Hopefully you will never have to.
Right.
But you know, it's a great thing to know it's there, and people are working for you and helping out.
Right, right. And I know that a lot of times when people do call the Cancer Society, they've told me, well, they're always, you know, impressed by how willing they are to help, and a lot of different programs that people probably aren't aware of. And like you say, you kind of hope maybe that you never have to make that call yourself, but it is good to know that there are people out there that can help, and that there is help out there. Yes. for people. So, okay, well, we're going to take a break right now. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back to this edition of Editor's Notebook. My name is Mark O'Keefe. I'm executive editor for the Herald-Standard. With us today is Barbara Yalaich Fike, who Barb is one of the chairmen for the upcoming American Cancer Society's Relay for Life. Yes. It's their big fundraiser for the whole year, and it's going to be held when again?
It is August 10th. It is a Saturday from 8 a.m. Saturday till 8 a.m. Sunday. It is 24 hours, like you said, there's no break in cancer, so we're 24 hours.
Penn State,
Fayette Eberly campus.
Right, right. So, and as we were talking about, you know, the idea is that, you know, people form teams basically, and then they can be families, churches, clubs, any kind of group, and they raise money through the year, and then they come together. Everything comes together this weekend, and you know, the whole idea is to raise money through the year, and then some groups even raise money at the relay.
Yes.
Some do, some don't, and some will be selling things and stuff. It always makes it very interesting when you go up there and you walk around the track or whatever, and then you see all kind of different things, and there's always all kind of neat things that people are doing, and kind of fun things, and that sort of thing. But also too, and this is probably what takes up your, I know you dedicate like your life to this thing, and it's a year-round process, you know, because there's so much that goes into it. But let's just talk about, and you say that the opening ceremony and what all is entailed.
And we have a color guard come. The veterans will be there to present the colors, and I have a vocalist coming, Gino Malika.
Gino.
Yeah, good old Gino.
He's great.
He's a student of mine, and he agreed to come and sing.
If you haven't heard him sing,
you would not believe. He is a young teenager, 14.
14.
I believe. Wow. He's 14, maybe going on. He's 15, possibly.
Yeah, he's amazing.
But, and Taylor Kodrick, she's another beautiful voice. She'll
Taylor's
be there singing. But the opening ceremony is presenting of the colors, and just a pledge of allegiance, things like that. Do a little patriotism to our country, and open our relay. Have a nice little discussion with everyone. Let them know what the event's going to be like, and some things they can look forward to, and some surprises. We always have surprises.
Yeah, you always do. You always kind of mix it up something, so it's never the same thing, you know. So if you were there maybe last year and you think, well, it's going to be the same. No, it'll be different.
No, it's never the same.
But what are some of the activities that go on throughout the day that you have?
We have other ceremonies that go on throughout the day. Our survivor lap, our caregivers lap, and that's
usually more in the afternoon.
Yes, that pretty much is the focus of our relay, because we are honoring our survivors, remembering ones that have left us, and just giving them hope. And that's why we all come together. Lot of laughs throughout the day, but a lot of tears. Okay,
right.
But that's our main focus. They also have a dinner for the survivors and caregivers, so that's always very nice for them. We have an activities committee, so they're always doing something throughout the entire day, just activities on the side, games and things, really entertaining things we've done. We have a DJ that comes and gives his time for 24 hours and plays music the entire day. Kind of keeps things together.
Right.
Our MC and between Ed and
keep
myself
everybody
and Lisa.
moving there.
Yes,
you know.
that's
If you
right.
get a little sluggish or whatever, that'll
That
guaranteed
usually
to pick you
happens
up.
at about 3 a.m., maybe between the hours of 3 and 4.
But then in the evening, though, of course, you have your luminaria, and if
Yeah.
anybody hasn't been there to see it, it's very touching.
That is probably my favorite part.
Right.
Senator Kusunik helps with that, and he is our MC for the evening. We honor, again, our survivors. This is to reflect why most people are just reflecting why they're there. You know, whether they're supporting someone that is surviving, someone they've lost, but it's a very quiet time. We have a silent lap where everyone has a candle. This year we're not using candles, but anything that lights, even a phone these days, you know, but it's silent. There is not one sound there, and there's usually several hundred people for this.
Right.
Yeah, it's huge, but
It's very
everyone
impressive.
does this
Yeah.
lap, and there's no talking, no noise at all, and just the light, and that's all you see. And it's just, I've got goosebumps thinking about
Right.
it. But that kind of kicks off our evening, our luminaria ceremony, where we have the paper bags, and you could purchase those at the event. Before the event, we're actually going to be at the county fair this year, and we will sell them there. And written on the bag would be the name of the person you're honoring, or that has left us because of cancer, will be on the bag in honor or in memory of. You could draw a picture, you could put a picture if you'd like. You know, that bag is yours, but we set them out with a votive inside the bag. And because it is so windy out there, we're not using candles this year. We're going to use a bigger votive. So that is so impressive to see them lined, and you've been there year after year, bag after bag, usually around 1,500 bags, somewhere around that number. And it is just so amazing to see that many lights. And all the lights are turned out at Penn State, and all you see are the bags.
Right.
And they line the track, so as we walk, we can look for our loved ones, look at the bags, and just amazement. And of course, we'll have a vocalist. We have a couple poems read at that time, and it's a pretty amazing hour and a half. It probably takes for the whole thing, but it's just overwhelming sometimes.
Right.
We just stand and kind of hug each other and hold hands and cry. And
very definitely a very good way to both honor people who are, you know, having to go through being treated for cancer, and those who unfortunately lost their battle. You know, it's a good time to remember everybody, and it's like a community kind of group hug type of thing. Very poignant. Yeah, if anybody has lost anybody from cancer, it's a very good way to honor somebody. So if you haven't had a chance or the opportunity to go to Relay for Life, it's definitely something. Particularly if you've lost somebody, or if you know somebody who's going through the cancer, you know, maybe somebody you might feel a little bit alone or whatever. Well, here's
you would definitely not be alone out there.
Here's a whole group of people. And the amazing thing to me is every year it seems like, you know, I've always run it into all kind of different people. You know, you always see somebody that maybe you haven't seen before. You're like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? You know, and you start talking, and you know,
some of these families schedule their reunions that weekend, so they know some have their reunions at the Relay.
It is always usually the second week in August. So that's always people kind of can make their schedules
around it.
So then the idea is that every team is supposed to have somebody on the track all the way through the night, but no one really enforces that, and it's more the spirit of the thing that
there's no walking police there
than anything. But there are things that go on all through the night.
We do. We have activities to keep people going, because it's tough when you figure, while we're there Friday night working and getting things ready, then we're there a couple hours before everyone else on Saturday morning. So just the committee themselves, I have to interject at this point and say how wonderful our committee is. We have a great committee.
How many people do you have?
We have about 20, 25. And we meet first Tuesday of every month at the Polish Club.
It's a lot of work.
Polish Club gives us their facility for that meeting, and we're very we're happy with them to help that way. But yeah, the committee is fabulous. They're hard workers. They're there, you know, because they want to be there, and we're always welcoming new ones. Even if you just come and voice your opinion, we'd love to have new committee people. But wonderful committee.
Yeah, very committed people. When they say they're going to do something, they're going to do it.
Yeah. Well, Ed and myself and Lisa may be the chairs, but we could never do this without the committee. They work hard. Right. Yeah.
So then, so you make it through the night, and then what concludes it?
Well, we just have a little closing ceremony. Sometimes we have a balloon release. We've done different things for our closing. I'm not going to reveal any secrets for the year, for this year, but we, read a poem or two. A vocalist will come and sing sometimes, and if we have some idea of a dollar amount at that point, tentative amount, we'll make that announcement. So that's always exciting to hear before we pack it up for the weekend.
Now what about somebody with the torch? When is that?
Oh, Mark, I'm glad you brought that up because that slipped my mind. We have a torch run, yes.
Okay, now is that at the beginning or is that going to be at the end?
This year it is going to be at the beginning.
Okay.
And
that's always
pretty exciting. It was always Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And the torch at our old location, they would leave from Penn State or Laurel Mall and run to Laurel Highlands High School the whole entire way with police escort, of course. But these are our track runners from the county, the high schools and our adult track team in town. They're just fabulous. They come every year without fail. We have the Striders, Fayette Striders, and they bring in a torch, and it is a big, like an Olympic torch.
Right.
And they'll bring that in and hand it off to our survivor ambassador. Now this year it is little Charlie. She's only, I'm going to say 4. I don't know exactly, but I'm going to say 4. So I think mom or dad will have to help her with that handoff of the torch. But that is just, I can't explain that either, because that's another time that the floodgates open and you just feel when you see those runners coming in and the inspiration that they have. And it is great.
Inspiring.
Yeah.
So that'll be on Saturday morning, and that'll be part of the opening ceremony?
Yes.
Or?
Yeah. Well, sometimes it doesn't work out that way. If they have a run in the morning, then we have to get them a little later.
They'll be there when they're there.
We'll be ready for them. Yes. Yeah.
And I'm sure as the event gets closer, you'll be getting more of the planning, and we'll be doing some stories for the Herald-Standard once you kind of get everything finalized and stuff. So, but that's pretty much going to wrap up our show today. And again, when is it going to be held?
It is August 10th, Saturday to Sunday the 11th, from 8 a.m. to 8 a.m. on Sunday at the Everly campus, Penn State.
And the whole 24 hours, you can come out at any time during those 24 hours and, take a walk around and, see what's going on out there. All these teams, everybody has all kind of different things going on. And there's food and there's drinks and stuff there too. So if you want to come out and get something to eat, you can do that also.
We have our auction also, huge, over 100 different items that we auction, new items, fabulous selection of things. So that's always impressive just to come and look at that.
Right.
But yeah, we would love to have anyone come out and just see what we're all about.
Okay. I want to thank Barbara Yalaich Fike, Chairman for the American Cancer Society Relay for Life, for coming on our show today, and I hope you get another great turnout there.
Thank you for having me.
Okay. And I want to thank you for watching. My name is Mark O'Keefe. I'm Executive Editor for the Herald-Standard. We'll see you later.